Hi everyone, it's Tuesday, so I'm back with another video. I hope you're doing well. How's everyone doing? I'm doing I'm doing great. Um I'm just a little sore and it's so funny. I mean it's not funny. I got hit by a car again, a truck. Well, that's a little bit of an exaggeration. It was an SUV, but still. Again, how many times am I going to get hit by a truck? Not my fault. I was stopped at a red light. So, not my fault. But anyway, it's fine. Didn't do too much damage. I'm okay. Going to go get cranial sacral this week. Are you familiar with cranial sacral? I might do a video on that one day. That's an interesting technique that I hadn't really heard of until a couple years ago. And I only just tried this year. And then I'll see a chiropractor and they'll make sure I'm alright. And that'll be that. Anyway, let's see, what was I talking about? Oh, this video, and what are we talking about? So last week, we talked about herbs that can be supportive if we are anxious. And I think Kava Kava was one of the winners, one of the ones that I really liked and recommend, and chamomile. And this week, let's talk about herbs for anger, when we're on an angry wavelength. So angry wavelengths can be not good. Which actually, you know what? I was kind of on an angry wavelength yesterday. Not saying I wouldn't have been hit if I wasn't on an angry wavelength. That's not fair. Can't blame the victim. But I probably wouldn't have been hit if I wasn't on an angry wavelength. Anyway, herbs for anger. So, did you know that in most ancient healing traditions, different emotions were associated with different organs or different body systems? They thought emotions had organ correspondence, which, of course, in our Western medical tradition, not so much. And it can seem kind of like wacky, like, wait, what were you talking about? Anger is associated with an organ. But it is. I'm a believer. And can you guess which one it would be associated with? What'd you guess? Did you guess the liver? So the liver is what needs extra support when we're angry. And in traditional Chinese medicine, they actually believe not just the liver, but also the heart and the stomach, I think. The stomach. Definitely the liver and the heart in traditional Chinese medicine needs to be supported if you are having lots of angry outbursts or if you're angry. They would say your liver and your heart needs help. So let's say you're not necessarily a believer in that. But if we looked at it from more of a scientific perspective, what do we know about when we're angry? So when you're angry, your heart rate goes up, your nervous system's on high alert, you're in your flight or fight response because you're angry. So, I mean, this is like a adaptive thing from eons ago. Most people back in the day, if you're angry, it was because your boundaries had been crossed and you probably needed to defend your boundaries, the boundaries of others. And you were either going to run away or you're going to fight. So that's what your body is preparing you to do. So your digestive system kind of goes in shutdown mode. Your circulation kind of it's sent to your extremities instead of running your other internal systems. No, I almost pushed pause. I'm going to keep going. I'm not starting over even though I'm off on a tangent. Anyway. So from a scientific perspective, it makes sense that our liver would need to be supported if we're angry because the liver is responsible for processing our stress hormones and all of our toxins and poisons. And of course, anything in excess is a poison. So if you have an excess of stress hormones because you are angry, then your liver needs help clearing that out. So what supports the liver? Well, of course, bitters. So in herbalism, bitters are a class of herbs that have a bitter taste and stimulate your digestive system. And they do a lot of different things. And actually in other cultures, they eat more bitter food. We don't really eat bitter here. We eat mostly salt and sweet. I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about me. I'm a salt person. So, and sour. Salt, sweet, and sour. is common in the United States, but we need more bitters, and bitters support the liver. And they do that by, one, aiding in digestion, and they also help in supporting the liver and removing toxins and poisons. So some of the most common ones are dandelion root. That's one I recommend because you can easily get that in tea bags at just any local grocery store. I mostly use loose leaf, but tea bags are great. You can use it in tea bags. It's easy to find. I think that's one that could just be kept on hand. Burdock, that's a common one that herbalists, it's kind of a go-to for liver support. And then, of course, milk thistle. Now, none of these teas are going to taste the best, I have to say. I mean, they're bitters. They're in the bitters classification. But they will help you. They will help ground you, bring you back to center, support your liver, and clearing out those stress hormones. So they would be good ones to consider. Now, if you're an essential oil person, which I consider herbs because most of them are made from herbs, lavender. Most people have lavender on hand. Lavender is a great one. You can put a drop of it on the bottom of your foot before you go to bed, especially if you're angry and then you just need to go to bed, because lavender is very soothing. It's a good one to help you have restful sleep, even if you are angry. I'm trying to think of there's another one. Went right out my head. But lavender. Oh, and lavender tea. A lot of people don't realize lavender, I mean, it's edible. They make a great tea. It makes a great tea. If you have lavender, you can make it into a tea yourself. So lavender is a very soothing tea that could be helpful if you are angry. Moving on. I'm looking at my notes. I have a few notes. Oh, okay. So other herbs that are helpful are in the rose family. So agrimony is one. And that one, typically in traditional Chinese medicine, they will use that with even on the elderly or children. So that's a nice, gentle one. And remember, in Chinese medicine, you also need to support your heart when you're angry and irritable. I feel like there's something about agrimony I wanted to mention, but I don't remember what it is. Moving right along. Motherwort. Motherwort is another one that is a great herb. It's considered a women's herb. It's very nurturing and helpful to the heart. It's a uterine stimulant though. So if you're pregnant, you should probably not use motherwort. So motherwort wouldn't necessarily be one for you. But hawthorn is another one that's great. And hawthorn is just an all-around soothing, beautiful plant. It's very supportive, period. It's also supportive if you're angry. Yeah, I love hawthorn. My grandma takes it every day. She's been taking it probably for 20-odd something years. I would say, though, with both motherwort and hawthorn, two that I highly, highly recommend, I would be cautious if you have congestive heart failure or some sort of heart disease and you are on heart medication, because they are such powerful herbs that they can be used as a replacement for that heart medication. So you should probably not be taking heart medication and hawthorn. Now, to have a cup of hawthorn tea, that's going to be fine. But to take it, 2 or 3 times a day or ongoing for an anger condition, that would not be good. And actually, if your anger condition is chronic, like it's a feature of your personality, like you're just always riled up about something, yikes, is that me? I usually am riled up about something the government's doing. Then you probably have to go even more upstream than herbs, and you need other things like spiritual work. Guess I'm talking to myself. Anyway, I think that's all I have today for herbs that can support you if you're angry. Honestly, I could think of 30 more. There's so many. Oh, I didn't mention chamomile. Chamomile, like last week, is a great one because it's gentle. It can be children can have it as well. And it's very soothing. It's calming to the nervous system. It's helpful to the digestive system, which we know when we're angry kind of goes on shutdown. Chamomile can be found in any grocery store. Chamomile is a great one. So chamomile, I feel like, wins this round. Kava Kava won the anxiety go round. And then next week, herbs for overwhelm.